who's a known racist, is accusing Elijah Cummings of being racist. Facing growing accusation of racism for his incendiary tweets, 45 lashed out at his critics on Monday and sought to deflect the criticism by labeling a black congressman as himself racist. In the latest rhetorical shot at lawmakers of color, 45 said his weekend comments referring to Elijah Cummings' majority black Baltimore district as a disgusting, rant and a rodent-infested mess where no human being would want to live were not racist, instead, and which they were. Instead, 45 argued if racist Elijah Cummings would focus more of his energy on helping the good people of his district and Baltimore itself, perhaps progress could be made in fixing the mess. Excuse me. His radical oversight is a joke, 45 tweeted Sunday. And while 45 thinks that Elijah Cummings is a joke, take a look at 45. He's the worst joke there is. After a weekend of attacks on Cummings, the son of former sharecroppers who rose to become the powerful chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, 45 expanded his attacks Monday to include a prominent Cummings defender, Reverend Al Sharpton, who held a press conference in Baltimore to condemn the squatter. Al's a con man, a troublemaker, always looking for a score. I think 45 described himself in that tweet, because 45 is a known con man, he's a known troublemaker, and he's always looking for a way to score. Adding that the civil rights activist and MSNBC host hates whites and cops. Sharpton fired back at the squatter in a tweet of his own, saying, I do make trouble for bigots. .45 later shifted focus back to Baltimore, claiming that billions of dollars had been pumped into the city. The money was stolen or wasted, 45 tweeted. Asked Elijah Cummings where it went. He should investigate himself with his oversight committee. I could tell you where the money didn't go. It didn't go to spend on hookers like 45 spent his money on. Earlier Monday, 45 convened a group of wonderful inner city pastors unannounced closed-door meeting to discuss the issues facing the black community Monday. The country needs healing, and 45's not going to give it. There's so much division in America along racial lines, said Bill Owens, a president of the Coalition of African American Pastors, who said he was among about 20 pastors who had met with the squatter. He wanted to know from us, what should he do in America? What best can he do? Owens said of 45 insisting the gathering was not damage control. Asked by a reporter whether he thought 45 was racist, Owens said he found that hard to believe, but said the squatter could do more to address racism in the country. Absolutely. And like I said, I find it easy to believe that 45 is racist because he always makes racist comments. Alveda King, the niece of civil rights leader Martin Luther King and a longtime 45 supporter, also noted 45's longtime relationships with Sharpton and civil rights activist Jesse Kingston. These are his brothers, technically not. 45 appeared to dig a deeper hole, even as a top White House aide sought to dismiss the controversy by describing 45's comments as hyperbole. 2 weeks ago, 45 caused a nationwide uproar with racist tweets directed at 4 Democratic congresswomen of color as he looked to stroke racial divisions for his political gain heading into the 2020 election. 45 noted that Democratic presidential contender and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders had recently equated parts of Baltimore to a third world country in 2015. I assume that Bernie must now be labeled a racist, just as a Republican would if he had used that term and standard. 45 tweeted Monday. Sanders tweeted back that 45's lies and racism would never end. While I have been fighting to lift the people of Baltimore and elsewhere out of poverty with good-paying jobs, housing, and health care, he has been attacking workers and the poor. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a Republican, on Monday called the squatter's comments just outrageous and inappropriate. Hogan, the new chairman of the National Governors Association, said he recently gave an address at the NGA about the angry and divisive politics that are literally tearing America apart. I think enough is enough, Hogan said on the C4 radio show in Baltimore. I mean, people are just completely fed up with this kind of nonsense and why we are not focused on solving the problems and getting to work instead of who's tweeting what and who's calling who, that kind of names. I mean, it's just absurd. Yeah. So basically, I'm not going to read any more onto that part there because there's like maybe several other stuff. But basically, to sum it all up, if you support 45 and his racist comments, then you your fucking self are in fact fucking racist. And that's what I'm getting pissed off about this shit.